Are you looking for affordable office space in Marion? The professional building located at 685 Delaware Avenue is the place for you. For more information, call 740-383-6803. Office space is now available. Again, telephone number 740-383-6803. This is Scott Spears, and I'd like to welcome you to a new tradition here in Marion. Scott Spears presents the 5 most interesting people in Marion, Ohio in 2012. Let me tell you a little bit about this list. This list has been compiled by my thoughts, my interest, my conversations, votes obtained by the internet with all kinds of people, and we have narrowed down this year, it was very hard to do, but we have narrowed it down to 5 Marion citizens that will be considered the 5 most interesting people in Marion, Ohio in 2012. We're going to start with number 5 and work our way up to number 1. To qualify for this list, all you had to do was visit Marion, do something in Marion, be a resident of Marion in any way to make the list. We're going to start with number 5. This year's number 5 was a very interesting person, the man with the golden voice, Ted Williams. Ted Williams came to Marion this year probably 6 times to be on my show. During one visit, he came in the camouflage jacket that he was found in on the side of the street in Columbus, Ohio in 2010 in that famous YouTube video, over 1 billion hits. On my show, he put that jacket back on and also talked about his trips to the Today Show and a lot of other places. Number 5 on our list this year, the man with the golden voice, Ted Williams. This is Scott Spears, and today we're joined by a man that I am truly proud to call a friend, the man with the golden voice, Ted Williams. Today, Ted and I are going to look back on the last year and a half in his amazing life. And before we go to him, you're about to see something very important. The jacket he wore on that YouTube video that went viral in January of 2011. Let's take a look at it.
Well, I'm going to look at this for the first time in a long time, Scott, and I first of all want to thank you for this opportunity once again to kick it with my buddy. But yeah, this jacket I've given to my brother-in-law. His name is Gus Sariotis, and he's really kept it there. Even he kept the stench that it still carries. But I wanted to more or less just put myself in that day. When you're listening to nothing but the best of oldies, wait a minute. When you're listening to nothing but the best of oldies, you're listening to Magic 98.9.
My goodness.
And I guess the rest is history.
You haven't done that since we talked about before we went on air. What's it feel like to be back in that jacket and say that line?
It's a little haunting, to be honest with you. And only you can get this out of me, Scott. I mean, not that I wouldn't have done it for anybody else, you know, but... you know, you're the only one that asked me to get this jacket out of storage or wherever he keeps it. But yeah, it's kind of deja vu-ish, you know. I'm going out to a Marion. I'm going out to a Marion street corner right now.
Well, we talked about the bidding war with your mother, which was crazy.
That was outrageous.
But you made it to the Today Show, and that morning you did the announcing.
Live from Studio 1A. In Rocco. Oh, you're going to show me that?
Let's go to it. Let's go to it.
Why did I think you were going to do that after I said
The man with the golden pipes. 2 days ago, Ted Williams was homeless. Now, thanks to this viral video and his amazing voice, the job offers are pouring in. And he's even helping us out today, Thursday, January 6th, 2011.
From NBC News, this is Today with Matt Lauer and Meredith Vieira, live from Studio 1A in Rockefeller Plaza.
And and welcome today on this Thursday morning, except for the fact to get the order of the names wrong. I thought Ted Williams did a great job.
That wasn't his fault.
Good.
That's the way it was on the script. You need proof that life in this country can change overnight. Look no further than Ted Williams a couple of days ago on the streets of Columbus, Ohio, asking for money from strangers. He said he had a God-given gift, and you know what? He does.
He sure does.
He's on our couch this morning. We're going to get to talk to that man.
And
in
so
just
many
a little
people
while.
have said, you know, everybody deserves a second chance. You meet
right.
this guy, and this is somebody who sure does. It's a great moment. Actually, there was a nice moment in the audio booth when you came in to meet Ted.
He
for the
was
first
recording.
time. Yeah, let's take a look.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, man, what a class act, man. He's the best, man. His smile and everything's so genuine. Just like I thought it would be, man. God, thank you, Jesus.
All right. Who was he talking about?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's a little delusional there.
Oh, that's nice for our guest. That's good. Ted, I'll be doing the interview. Don't worry about it.
You became emotional on that one.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Man, meeting Matt Lauer. I might get emotional now, but meeting Matt Lauer was like God had answered a prayer of mine, like specifically. You know how you might pray for everybody and prayers get answered and you never really can put a nail on one to say, hey, my prayer's been answered. But that was a prayer that I had really I prayed one day that I would possibly do the opening for the Today Show. I really did. I'm telling you, Scott, from the heart. I really did pray, could I possibly do an opening for a show or a night? I used to always try to. Excuse me, I'm sorry, man.
No, it's fine. I mean, my goodness, and how well you did it. I mean, it was amazing.
It was like God, gave me that shot, man. And it was like a dream come true, a blessing, a prayer answered. And I really enjoyed that because it was just 2 days before this, Scott. I was laying on a floor, and I was watching the Today Show, and I was just doing what I do normally when I hear that the other VO's voice, and I would say live from Studio 1A in Rockefeller Plaza. And my girlfriend Kathy, who's here today, she said, "Oh, stop all of that. It's never gonna happen. You know, those are dreams, pipe dreams, and all." And 2 days later, I was doing it. I couldn't believe it.
It happened.
It was like, wow.
Ted, certainly a man and a voice you'll never forget. We now move along to number 4 on our list, and I can tell you this. To this day, I still get people asking me if he's moved to Marion, Ohio. Number 4 on our list, legendary watermelon-smashing comedian, Gallagher. Gallagher came to Marion as a guest on my program, my radio program at the time, in June of 2012. He stayed for 2 months. There were more pictures, Facebook shots of him taken around the local area here in Marion than any other person I think of that time. He might be Marion's most photographed person in 2012, and for 2 months in 2012, Gallagher made Marion, Ohio his home. Number 4 on our list, legendary comedian, Gallagher. Interest in this come from?
Once you earn money, you have to do something with it. Money is a job. How shall I invest it? You know, how could it work for me? If you don't think you want to spend the rest of your life smashing watermelons.
Well, did you handle your own money, or did other people? Okay.
I lost all of it myself.
Now people are going to think you're serious. Is it true?
Yeah.
Really? You lost it all?
Betting on America. Who thought it was going to go from way up to way down since '88? I'm telling you, it's hard for me to short the market. I just can't hope that America industry doesn't win, doesn't dominate. It's difficult. It's unpatriotic, and it's hard for me, and I lost my retirement doing it.
Now listen, I like you because you're honest, and let's talk about this. At your height, what was your worth, your net worth?
Oh, only about $3 million.
That's a lot of money. $3 million.
Yeah. After tax, you have to earn about 6 and pay taxes. And then I had wives, and and I lived a high life. If you're going to have money, you're going to travel around, and so I spent it rather than give it to the government.
So what do you have today?
Well, not much.
Really?
Right.
That's honest.
Yeah.
how do you how do
Well,
you
I
make money?
divested myself of my assets because I knew my health was bad, and I didn't want my kids to have to go through probate. So I gave them whatever monies that I had left in assets because it's just better. What do you want to do? Leave your kids a big legal problem, you see? So now I don't, and I don't know what's the matter with my driver's license, but they've suspended it. So actually now, not only do I have no place to live, but I've got a credit card and I can stay in hotels, but I can't drive until I figure this out. California suspended my license, and so I feel, but
People,
you learn.
this is the internet age. Another thing that comes up when you search your name, people videoed your heart attacks on stage.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel? That's pretty low, I think. Not
Well,
to take it, but
we're
to post
totally vulnerable in
That's
this world.
terrible.
Anybody that has an opinion becomes a celebrity these days.
it. But who would want to watch somebody have a heart attack on stage? That's ridiculous.
Well, it stopped the lies that I fell over backward off of the stage when that wasn't the truth. I told everybody I was going to lay down. That's what I said.
You did. I saw it.
I'm going to say you saw it.
I
I'm
did.
going to.
Well, I looked at it last
I'm going
night.
to lay down now.
Yeah.
Because I really didn't have the energy. Every time I smashed, I lost more energy than I was able to recharge. And I thought if I continue smacking, I'll go dead like my phone.
What?
When your phone's going near red, you turn it off because you don't want to run it to absolute bottom.
Well, here's the thing. I don't fault the person for having the cell phone
Oh,
out.
there were three.
Okay.
You could see it from 3 angles.
Well, here's the thing. You know what? Maybe they were taping the show. Maybe they did it because you thought you were being whatever. But to take it home and post it on YouTube, now see, that's where I fault them. That takes some.
But isn't this the new world we live in?
If somebody says something bad, but not somebody having a medical problem.
Now you're asking for people to be raised right and have good taste.
I'm
and that's
asking
what
too much.
Well, it's obvious. I've got proof that it's
You
not
do.
that way in this world.
Does it tick you off?
I'm near the end of my life, and you just don't get as upset about things if you died.
But 10 years. You told me 10 years you thought you had left.
When did I say that?
I've got I'll play the interview. When you announced your retirement,
yeah.
you said, I think I got
I was
about 10
being
years.
nice. I know you better now. I'll tell you more of the truth. I'm lucky. Every morning I wake up, I'm surprised.
Now, is that you or is that a doctor? Did a doctor say that, or is that just your opinion?
It can clog up. It's all about plumbing.
Well, I don't like
clog
this.
up.
I like you.
Yeah, but you can't. It's about plumbing. I happen to be living into this little body that has clogs in the plumbing.
Well, can't we get you to a cardiologist?
They're all crazy, aren't they? They give you different information. Would you have 4 heart attacks if cardiologists were solving the problem?
Have you ever had a cardiologist with you the whole time, or have you just gone to different ones?
Different? Well, because I had a heart attack at the Mayo Clinic. I was at a bar 5.3 miles from the Mayo Clinic.
That's not.
And the last heart attack I had in Texas, I was just 10 minutes away from the hospital, and the ambulance guys were actually in the area and got there within minutes of me falling over. I'm told. I don't really know because I fell over unconscious.
Well, maybe you just need to see a good cardiologist. Maybe they haven't been great. I understand the Mayo Clinic is.
Oh no,
great.
I went to the guy who invented the stent.
Really?
And Dr. Schatz at the Green Hospital in La Jolla. Yeah, he invented the stent.
And they say there's nothing we can do.
Oh, no, they have their opinion, but then you end up someplace else, and they do the opposite thing of what that guy said to do,
Well, you look good today.
People don't want to hear about this.
No, they do, because you know what? People are having heart problems.
Yeah.
It's the way we eat. It's the way we drink.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real part of you.
It's actually an artery problem. It's not a heart problem. It's that the arteries clog up with cholesterol. And so what can you do?
Is that genetic? Because you're a slim guy. You've always been slim.
It doesn't make a bit of sense. There's 6 arteries going to the heart, and only 2 of them are clogged. But if 2 are clogged, it still stops one part of the heart and causes damage and a heart attack. And so if what you're eating is clogging 2, why isn't it clogging the 4? And if it's hereditary, you have the same hereditary for all of your arteries, so what's that? There's no answer.
Is it hereditary?
Well, yeah, it can be hereditary, but if I was a vegetarian and only ate broccoli and carrots, I couldn't have a heart attack at all.
Have you curtailed? I know the answer to this because I've seen you.
Yeah.
Have you curtailed your lifestyle?
No,
Yeah.
I'm not going to live on broccoli and carrots. I'd rather just die.
Not not in the next 2 hours,
I'm
okay?
having French fries tonight.
You should go to the Salvation Army and the Goodwill.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I don't want a new outfit. I retired. What made you...
I don't want you to dance like a monkey. I just want you to come in tomorrow morning and have...
For the video?
For the video, look Gallagher-esque. Wear your hat.
Today I'm wearing my Superman shirt.
You haven't even... Yeah, you need something...
Now you're acting like a career manager.
No, I don't want you to work
on...
again.
Okay.
I just want you to be on video. It's very visual.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll just take my clothes off.
No,
That'll
don't take your... No,
That'll
no,
go
no.
viral.
What do you think that guy's going to think of you taking your clothes off?
I'm going to take my shirt off right
No,
now.
no, leave your shirt on.
No,
Now,
I'm
please,
taking
leave your...
it off.
Oh,
There,
Jesus.
now.
We've got a cancer patient coming in here. You
Well,
can't be
they're
taking
used to this then.
Good Lord, you just
Why
took
do
your
they-
shirt off.
Why do
What's
they
wrong with
call
you?
that outfit they put you in a gown? It's the farthest thing from a gown. They'll say, put this gown on, and it's open in the back and your butt's hanging out, and they're calling it a gown. I'm telling you, it's just such a lie.
Now,
And
what?
that-
You didn't take much for you to take your shirt off there.
Well, it's visually interesting. It makes a picture. Aren't you going to post this on the internet?
I am, but
Well, this
it's-
is a funny part of the show.
It's not good for me right now. You don't have a shirt in the studio on.
But it looks good on camera.
In your opinion.
Well, it's different. It's comedy. See, I found what would make you uncomfortable, and I did it.
I'm not uncomfortable.
You
I'm just
are.
confused.
You're the biggest bag of whining I ever heard.
Okay, I was going to ask your opinion on something, and I am because we have 3 minutes, but it's hard to talk to a shirtless man.
Why?
Because why would you be sitting
I
here
think
shirtless?
You have latent homosexual
Oh, here we
tendencies.
go.
Well, why would you be uncomfortable with my shirt off? Guys aren't. If we're working outside, especially today in this heat, they're going to take her shirt off.
We're not working outside.
Not right now, but we could
Oh,
pretend.
anyway.
Okay, now you only have 2 minutes.
Gallagher. Whew. I'll write a book someday telling about the behind-the-scenes trips I had with that man. We now move to number 3 on our list, and number 3 on our list is a very touching story as far as I'm concerned. This past year, there was a 17-year-old high school girl who lived in Cardington, Ohio, who was diagnosed with brain cancer. Her story was very touching. Every restaurant, I believe in Marion, every department store, the Marion General Hospital, and I know the Smith Clinic, all wore pink in her honor. She certainly is fascinating, she certainly is brave, and I admire her. She did her only interview with us this year. Number 3 on our list, Courtney Robinson.
So,
What was the surgery like?
well, I went into the pre-op room. They came in, the surgery was at 8:30, so I had to wake up a little before, and my mom and I went into the pre-op room, and the anesthesiologist and everybody and the surgeons came in and talked to me, and I started getting like a little more nervous at that point, and the surgeon was like, "Courtney, can I do anything for you? Do you have any questions?" I was like, "Yeah, can you take a picture of my brain?" And he's like, "I can try if you want me to." So that was my only thing that I wanted. The only thing. And he did.
Why was that? Why did you want that?
I don't know.
It is very tough to talk about, and I understand that, and I think the people watching this will understand that. What was it like to come out of surgery? How did you feel?
I don't really remember it much because the surgery was 9.5 hours, and that's a long time to have anesthesia. So I don't really remember it very much.
Let's talk. it's been such a small amount of time. It's unbelievably small. How has it changed you, would you say?
Well,
Or has it changed you?
in a way, yes. Like, I definitely have a different outlook on life, that's for sure.
If you could talk to somebody who would be going through this, or may go through this in the years to come, because it happens to people, what would you say to them?
I would just tell them to stay positive, because that's what's going to get you through it.
And is it easy for you to stay positive?
Kinda. I mean, if I sit there and think about it, yeah, it gets to me, but...
It'll be okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay. Courtney Robinson, I truly can say I was touched by that interview. And I'm sure you were too. We now continue on with our list. We're almost to number 1. Are you guessing at home? Who's number 1 this year? Who's the most interesting person in Marion, Ohio in 2012? Number 2 on our list, a person who's become a dear friend of mine, 40th Treasurer of the United States of America, Mary Ellen Withrow. Mary Ellen Withrow was born in Marion, Ohio, and the only person other than President Warren G. Harding to get to the national level on the political level. Mary Ellen Withrow returned to Marion in 2012 to make Marion her home, and it was an election year. She was on my program countless times and said countless things. I love the lady to death. Number 2 on our list, 40th Treasurer of the United States, one heck of a lady, my friend, Mary Ellen Withrow. I've got to do this because running for, well, our current state treasurer is Josh Mandel, and he's running for state senator against Sherrod Brown. And you taped one of the all-time great commercials that people can see when Josh Mandel was running for treasurer, wasn't it? You for his opponent, Kevin Boyce.
Yes, right.
Let's take a look at that commercial.
Oh, okay.
I'm Mary Ellen Withrow. I'm sickened by the shameless attacks of Representative Mandel on Treasurer Boyce. The Columbus Dispatch condemns Mandel's bigotry and says his attacks aren't true. I agree. Kevin Boyce is a good Christian man of integrity and faith. He's saved taxpayers millions and took 2 voluntary pay cuts. Mandel is practicing the worst type of politics. That tells you a lot about him. Josh Mandel, you should be ashamed.
That's a hard-hitting commercial.
Yeah.
When you see that, what do you think?
I think good. I'm glad I did it.
How were you approached about doing that?
Oh, they wanted to know if I'd do a commercial for Kevin Boyce, and I said yes. And they read it to me over the phone, and it was fine. It was on a, I think it was on a weekend. I was here in Ohio, and they got me. I was out at I was delivering pictures. People wanted pictures, and so so they set it up for I think that evening, and I grabbed an outfit and we went down and we shot it down near Columbus, and I didn't look at it. I should have looked at it after I did it, because that's what you should always do. And I thought I could have done a little bit better job, is what I thought, you know. But anyway, I did it, and it was done. So.
Better job as far as what?
By being by my inflection with my voice.
Well, that is a very strong political ad. I mean, I think anybody would say that, to say I'm ashamed of you.
I was. I still am.
Well, that I think that's fine. I think everybody has their own convictions.
Yeah.
Did you ever give any thought to saying that in a commercial that was going to go statewide? Was that written for you, or did you come up with that? How does that
No,
happen?
it was written for me.
But you had no problem saying?
I had no problem.
And never a thought given to that's going to go statewide? And
No, no.
As long... That, I guess for me, ashamed is a big word. Why were you ashamed of Josh Mandel?
Well, it was what he had done. And I
Personal attacks.
Yes, uh-huh.
Today, he's running at this time against Sherrod Brown. What do you make of him today?
Have you seen the Liar Liar Pants on Fire?
I have.
Okay. I need to say no more.
Okay. I understand.
Yeah.
Final. Some things you've done since you left office in the last 12 years or so is came out for gambling in Ohio, casinos.
Yes, yes. Because,
before we do that, let's see the commercial you taped for gambling. It was issue 3?
You've been busy, haven't
I've
you?
been busy. Here we go.
Issue 3's West Virginia casino opponents claim the casinos would be bad for Ohio. They're wrong. They're working to protect their own out-of-state casinos. A recent State of Ohio report gives the facts. It confirms the casinos will be taxed on all wagers, and the Issue 3 revenue projections are nearly identical. In fact, most of the new revenue will go to every Ohio county. Vote yes on Issue 3.
That was done in my home.
Is that right?
Yeah. The guy that mowed our lawn was starting to mow the lawn when I was, you know how many times you have to go through a commercial while they're taping it, and I said he was supposed to come 2 days ago, but he came right when we were doing the commercial.
That's a beautiful home you had there in Bethesda.
I did have a beautiful home.
That's a beautiful globe. That sticks out in that picture of me, that globe that's behind you.
Let me see.
Let's see if we can get that in the picture there. It might pop up there. Over here?
No, it keeps changing. I don't know what.
Oh, there, back over there.
I think you're talking about the lamp.
Oh, is that a lamp?
Yeah.
I thought it looks like a globe to me.
No, there's no globe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why did you feel it was important to come out for that?
Oh, I had felt that while I was state treasurer. I said, you know, we're losing all this money, and people are going to other states and gambling, and people are going to gamble. If they like to gamble, they're going to gamble. And I just felt Ohio was losing out tremendously, and we needed the money.
It did pass, I should say, but in Marion County it failed.
Yeah, well, so much for that.
Any take you have on any read?
Well, the churches were very strong against it, but the money's starting to come in now. I just heard that $100,000 and $50,000. Okay, pretty good stuff.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
You're back in Marion. I imagine you'll be here for the rest of your life, which I think will be a long time. No, I think that's a good... Your daughter's in here with us as we're taping. You got a long time left. But the question is, you got your feet wet back in Marion politics. You supported things that won. You have 100% batting average. What's next for you?
Oh, I'm having a good time just doing what I'm doing.
and one day you will run for something.
Oh, I don't think so.
You're still taking the Sherman on me.
You're trying to get me to say I'll run for something, but I see nothing in the horizon.
But you wouldn't turn it down.
I don't know. I'm not saying that, but I don't think that's going to happen, Scott.
If I ever run for office, will you endorse me? Because apparently that helps.
Well, what are you going to run for?
I don't know what I would be good at. Maybe dog warden or something.
You know, I don't think the dog warden has to run.
Really?
No.
Maybe mayor. How about mayor?
Well, that's a thought.
Would you endorse an independent if I ran as an independent?
It'd depend on who the Democrat was, and
We're going to hash this out as we go off the air. Mary Ellen Withrow, it's always a pleasure, and congratulations. You made a lot of predictions that people on CNN and Fox News and MSNBC weren't making. This certainly has been a fun program, and we've reached that moment I know you've all been waiting for. The most fascinating person in Marion, Ohio in 2012. Well, guess who it is? I know you didn't forget this story. In May of 2012, a 93-year-old woman was basically robbed and attacked in her own home, tied up by two teenagers. One medic alert bracelet and one very smart senior citizen put these two men behind bars. This story went from Marion to the Columbus media to CNN. 2012's most interesting person in Marion, one heck of a lady, Ruby Snyder. Ruby, I want to get to the bulk here because I think people want to hear about this, and I'm going to let you tell it in your own words. What happened the night of May 2nd, 2012, from start to finish? What happened?
Well, I heard a commotion, and I got up. I didn't turn any lights on, and I went to see if my motion light at the kitchen door outside was on, but it was not on. So I checked the front door. It was not on. There was nobody there. So I went back and I checked to see if there was anybody in my bedroom, and I didn't see anybody. I checked the light at the kitchen door for the motion light, and there was nobody there. So I went back to the front door, and somebody was there as I started to open the door. And he grabbed me and held me, and I started to yell, and he said, "Don't holler," and he put his hand over my mouth. Then he asked me if I had drugs. I said, no, I didn't have drugs. Did I have money? I said, no, I didn't have money. Is that your car in the garage? I said, yes. Where are the keys? I said, well, they're on the letter holder in the kitchen there. And so they had me sit. So he cut my life alert, and then they had me, and I grabbed the button as it fell. They didn't know that. And so they had me sit in a chair in the living room, and he wanted to know where the button was. I said, well, I don't know. I suppose it's lost. They didn't know I had it. So they took me into the TV room and set me on the sofa there. And the one young fella pulled his mask off. That was, I could tell he was a very young fellow. And he opened the mini blind and opened the window, and the other guy started to work on the TV. And so then about that time, the alert came on. She said, Ruby, are you okay? I said, yes, I'm fine. And so she heard them say that they were going to kill me. And so she asked me again if I was okay. I said, yes, I'm okay. And then they started to tie my legs together with masking tape, grape tape, and also my hands. And I didn't have the life alert in my hand at that time anymore. And then taped my mouth. And so they took the TV out, and the life alert apparently alerted the police department. They surrounded the house. So when the guys started to go out, went out on the driveway to go and open the garage door, the police nabbed them.
You said you did see the kids who were in your house and they were young, that one had pulled off his mask. When you knew they were so young and doing this, what did you think? Have you followed that story since then? What's happened to them?
Well, my attorney, prosecuting attorney, came out. Of course, he had already talked to him, and one of those guys had said that they did work for me. Well, see, they come along in the wintertime. They want to know if they can shovel snow or rake leaves or something like that. But I wouldn't know which one was the one that did that.
Being that they're so young, I mean,
yeah.
Under 18, What is that? Does it make you leery of people of that age, or?
Well, it does. I just wonder, well, here they were. Where's their curfew? They were out after curfew at 3 o'clock in the morning.
It's not going to happen anytime soon, but when you do leave us, how would you like people to remember you?
Well, remember me as I outsmarted the guys.
You did. And I tell you what, Ruby, that should be first line of the obituary years from now, because I think you got plenty of steam left. I think you'll make 100, maybe then some. Gotta love that lady, and what a brave person. Well, we've reached the end of our list. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope we can do it next year. I hope this becomes a tradition, much like the eggnog, the Christmas tree, the menorah, and everything else we do this time of year. I hope you have a very happy holiday season. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you stay with us on Scott Spears Now. You can always email me. It's osukid2006@aol.com. Like us on Facebook. Just type in Scott Spears Now in the search bar and click Like Us. Until next year, this is Scott Spears for Marion's 5 Most Interesting People of 2012. Take care, Marion.